Hello, and welcome to another stream. Hopefully, this time, I think I've solved the annoying problem that was causing the delay on my microphone, and it's rather surprising. It's rather surprising what the problem was. It would appear that the problem was my NDI interface. I'm using NDI to connect the phone to the computer. But today I've got it connected with DroidCam in the hope that that solves the problem, because I should get onto NDI about that tomorrow if that's the case. So let me just check for a minute to make sure that I am in sync. Yep, yep. So that's NDI. Now without getting too technical, NDI is connected to the computer via a network. You see that, look, network RJ45 goes into my router, and then the phone picks it up. The computer picks it up as a source. So obviously there's some sort of delay, and I've got to work out if there's a setting that I can change to sort that delay out on NDI. So that's good. So at least I've sorted that out. That's the important thing. I've also discovered other problems as well, and that's with my big mic. I think the power supply on my big mic is a bit rubber duck, so, or I should say a bit fucked. So I'm going to have to look at that and sort that out. Right, I'm just going to waffle for a moment, because when I changed my scenes to do the papers, I haven't actually got the new camera or this camera set up for my papers, so that makes me look like a prat. Let's just paste that and see if that comes up. Yeah, okay, that works. I've got that sorted out, so that when I do change scenes, that works. Right. I've not been too well this week. I had bronchiectasis, and I've had a major bronchiectasis flare up that you can probably hear it in my voice, and I've really been unwell, not been able to do much. Hello, Mental UK. Sorry, I do see you there, Mental UK. You're the guy that told me about the microphone that I'm using, aren't you? I've got to get that right. Yes, you're the guy that told me about the microphone that I'm using. So hi to you, on Twitch there. Right, I'm going to go. I'm going to go into everything now. The main, if I can't do it, I'm really sorry. It's because of my bronchiectasis. Giving me a bit of a nightmare. So and I'm thrown off now because I'm a bit annoyed that I've discovered what the problem is with the microphone, and it's not one that I actually expected. So that is quite surprising, actually, to be honest with you. That is quite surprising. Right, so I think the first thing we'll do is we'll go into the papers. So let me just cut to my paper thingy. So let's go to the papers. There we go. My papers background. I do like my papers background. And let's have a look at see what's in the papers. I haven't really looked at the papers today. I can tell you what the top news story is in this area tonight. And in this area tonight, it's the fact that Tower Bridge is broken. The middle part of Tower Bridge, the Batskills, are jammed open, which is causing traffic chaos all over South London, all over East London, which apparently is a bit of a nightmare. The papers are reporting that you can't actually cross the bridge by foot or by car, but that's not right. There's two high-level walkways above, which means that you can cross the bridge by foot via the high-level walkways. If they haven't got them open, I don't know why, but to say that you can't cross the bridge is an understatement. Anyway, that's that. Where are we? Right. Let me go and do the papers. Oh, my throat. I just need something to tea. Look, I've got one of my shirts on, and I've got my tea mug. I do love this Mental UK. I do love this microphone. This microphone is absolutely fantastic. It's for a 20 quid microphone. I'm really impressed. So it's a good microphone, right? The current bun, the Sun. As always, the Sun does a play on words, and they've called it Gleam GB. Jason and Laura, best Brits ever. So they're celebrating our Olympic haul, 65 medal miracle, they've called it. I wouldn't go as far as a miracle. I mean, a miracle is making the blind see or making a cripple walk, but there's nothing like the press for using superlatives, is there really? So that's the press for you. The Daily Express, honour heroes who lifted nation. Well, again, it's the papers using their superlatives. Yeah, these Olympians are absolutely fantastic, but I wouldn't call them a hero. A hero is a police officer that runs into danger when everybody else is running away. A hero is a fireman that runs into a burning building to save somebody's life. A hero is one of the RNLI lifeguards that Nigel Farage is so disrespectful to because they just rush into the sea regardless of any fear for their own lives to save other people's lives. Those are heroes. So to call the Olympians heroes is a bit... It's just the papers using superlatives, I think. And I wish they wouldn't do that. The greatest, the Metro is saying the greatest. Well, you know, it's the use of the superlatives. I suppose it sells paper. It sells papers. Daily Mail is a bit more reserved, actually. It says Britain's golden glory, which is more accurate. It's not using some crazy superlatives, which is good. Right, the other story in the Daily Mail is that Minister cut payoff of civil servants who work at home. If you work at home, should your pay be cut? I don't know. It's a difficult one. The Times, get back to the office, ministers order staff. So the Times is saying that the ministers are saying to their staff that works at home, get back to the office. But I think COVID has changed the way we work in that respect. I think working from home is going to be the new normal. So I don't think it's I don't think that telling them to get back to work is the right thing to do. But there we go. Right. Well, we've got the Mirror, pure gold. Again, celebrating our Olympic era champions. That's it, champions. That's the word. Yeah, champions. And the other headline in the Mirror is what a waste of Monet. Monet the artist, that's how they spelt it, Monet. Fury over Downing Street paintings after Tory cuts and freezes. Apparently, 100 grand's worth of art has been installed in number 10. I don't really get the Mirror, so I'm not going to work out who's paid for it. The Eye. Private health firms to profit from NHS backlog. Well, actually, that's true, because I had a recent PET scan 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't done on the National Health. It was done by Alliance Medical. So there is some medical companies making money off the National Health. But in saying that, they are helping out the National Health, because I would have waited weeks for this scan, but because of the privacy, the private company doing it, we got the scan nice and quickly. So I don't have any problem with that. The Daily Telegraph, they've got the golden glow as sunsets on Tokyo, so they're talking about the Olympians as well. And the other one is too many teenagers going to university. Well, that headline is a bit deceiving. What the story is actually about, I know papers and headlines are deceiving. What the story is actually about is that there's a lot of teenagers going to university that are racking up tremendous debt and then leaving university with qualifications employers don't really want. So that's a bit different to the headline. So you've really got to look into the story there to understand that. The Guardian, almost out of time, stark warning from scientists on climate disaster. I think as long as I can remember, people have been going on about climate disaster, haven't they? They've been, it's one of those things. And Team GB hailed as miracle of Tokyo. Well, we've already discussed what I think of miracles and all the superlatives that are discussed with miracles. Right. The Financial Times, Philip Morris bid for Vectura tops 1 billion as fight for UK assets clean up. I honestly have no idea. I know that Philip Morris is a tobacco firm, and that's all I know. So I've got no idea what they're on about. I don't read the Financial Times. It just doesn't appeal to me. The Daily Star. Do boffins ever just look out the window? And it's got a picture of rain. And they're saying that they're arguing with the boffins that are saying we've had one of the warmest, driest summers on record. And I think, yeah, do boffins never look out of the window? And that's basically the papers. So it's all about our Olympians. Let me just come off of the papers now. Right, we're back to our main screen now. What I will say is that I do have a connection. I have a connection with the Olympics. It's a remote connection, but my doctor, my GP, his son is Joe Chung. And Joe Chung won the gold medal in the modern pentathlon. So it's a double connection actually, because my doctor, his wife is also a GP, and she happens to be my partner's GP. So we've got that connection there. It's a bit it's a bit of a strange one. Anyway, right, that's all that. Now we come to the subject of tonight, the big story, the headline: streaming. Can streaming be sold in the same way as a product? Can I do it? Is it something that I can possibly do? And this is something I know something about, because after my time as a printer came to an end, I joined Dixon Stores Group, Currys, Dixon's, PC World, and the Currys department, and this was in the 1980s. And I was one of the first salespeople in that organisation to take £1 million in a year. Back in the 1980s, this was a lot of money. I think I was number 8 or 9 in the whole organisation to take £1 million as a salesperson a year. I was quite good at this, and I've got awards and everything for it. So it is something I know about. So can I translate that into selling streaming? I've come across a couple of problems though. When looking at streaming, I'm very active on the Facebook groups. I do look in the Facebook groups a lot, and there's a couple of things that I have noticed. And one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of streamers, when they're doing their advertising, they're failing to target their audience. One of the biggest, there's a lot of streamers that are very disingenuous towards women, especially the hot tub brigade. Now, I don't have a problem with women sitting in a hot tub semi-naked, earning money that way. But these people seem to think that the women are taking their viewers away. Well, and I've got to ask myself, are my viewers, is my viewer that person? Do I want to interact with somebody that's more interested in somebody's cleavage in a hot tub than talking about other important issues? And the answer is no, I don't. I mean, if that's what they want to do, if that's how they get off, then that's fine. That's you're not stealing viewers from me. Tell you who is stealing viewers from me, and I've been on Twitch quite a lot in the last few days, and I've been looking around, and I've been trying to support streamers that I see like me that have got no viewers, and I found a couple, and I tried chatting to them, and I got nothing from them. There was one guy, Mark, who I found to be very chatty, and I enjoyed a little chat with him last night. But the rest of them, you go on and you say hi, and they just blank you, and you think, well, you were in the forums demanding followers, and that's all you want, isn't it? It's followers. So they've got it in their heads that followers equals once you get with Twitch, right? Once you make affiliate status, now for affiliate status, you need 50 followers, and you need an average view count of 3 viewers. So, and they think that followers. Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely a London accent. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I was just talking about you, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, I was just saying you're one of the. I was watching. Incidentally, Mark, I was watching you. I didn't have audio on my computer, so I couldn't. I didn't really talk. I was watching you playing Fall Guy this morning, and I was quite interested in it. I was quite looking at it. I gather it's a Steam game, isn't it? But I didn't chat to you. I didn't say hi because I got no audio on my computer, and I could see that you were busy playing away there, and then you disappeared. So I wandered off. But I was watching you for a little while. So, and you're one of the people that I actually spoke to last night. And yeah, I've definitely got a London accent. I'm Cockney born and bred. I was I was born in Hackney. And I lived in the East End of London. And I was dragged up in South London. And now I'm out in the boonies. I'm out in Chislehurst in Kent, which is I know it says Kent, but it's right on the London border. So I'm still in Greater London. I mean, I'm in the London Borough of Bromley, but only just. So anyway, I've been talking to some of these streamers, and some of them, yeah, you do get like Mark there. You do get a lot of feedback from him. I quite enjoyed the chat with him last night. He had a technical problem, which I was able to sort out for him. Although I'll tell you, Mark, if you're still listening now, you've got other technical problems. You were lagging something terrible this morning, and I've got a funny feeling that's because you might be on a Wi-Fi connection. And if it is, you're probably only on 2.4 gigahertz, which is not really very good for streaming. If you can, right, if you are on a Wi-Fi connection, the best way is to do it on a hardwire, is to wire your computer via a LAN port directly into your router. Or if your router's got a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi on it, go for that. That's how my camera's connected to my computer, via 5 gigahertz. On 2.4 gigahertz, it lags like crazy, but on 5 gigahertz, it doesn't. It's normal. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So you have to. They failed to identify their audience, so they think that these women in hot tubs are taking their viewers away. So that they go into these forums and they're actually quite disingenuous to women, and they actually do get quite nasty towards female streamers when a female streamer appears, and they are quite rude. And I don't understand why, because like I say, those viewers that view these women are not the viewers that I want. They're not my viewers, so they're not actually stealing anything from me. But while I was looking around last night, right, and I can tell you now, right, I'm going out on, right now, I'm co-streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and D Live. And I've got 2 viewers on Twitch, all right? There is a stream of an empty hamster cage, right? An empty hamster cage, which actually has more viewers than me. There's fuck all going on. Hey, hi Higgins, how are you? There's fuck all going on in this hamster cage, right? Fuck all happening, right? It is an empty hamster cage, and it has got 10 viewers. All right, I mean, how do I even begin to compete with that? I mean, they're just, me saying about these hot tub women don't have they have the wrong audience. I mean, do I even want to fight for people that view an empty I used to work in the Tiger's Head. Oh right, I used to drink in the Tiger's Head when it was a proper pub. When it was a proper pub, it's gone all arty-farty, fancy restaurant. And I agree with you, Higgins. Twitch is fucking stupid. I wasn't worried about it. I just laughed. I thought, an empty hamster cage gets more views than me. What is wrong with these people? And there were people giving subscriptions to this empty hamster cage. I'm thinking, Jesus, if I was really, and the other thing that I come across in the forums is there's a lot of people that talk about mental health, and I can understand that if you've got a bit of a mental health issue, sometimes streaming can get on your tits. I mean, I've got to be honest and say that if I actually worried about the views that I've got, it would get me down. But I don't. I'm doing this regardless. I mean, I don't care if you're watching me or not. At the end of the day, right, I'll do this whether you're there or not. So, because I enjoy it, I'm not doing it for the money. I don't. It would be nice if I got to affiliate on Twitch, but I don't want to get to affiliate without the viewers. It's all very well. I mean, I've seen guys. I saw a guy last night had over 3,000 followers, 1 viewer. Right? I mean, what is the point? What is the point? You're just collecting numbers, and I don't want numbers. I want quality. So I started thinking about when I was at Courage, and I thought, how do I actually sell myself as a streamer? Just bear with me for a second. My laptop is wired, but I run my PlayStation 5 through OBS. You weren't playing on your PlayStation 5 this morning, were you? If I correct me if I'm wrong, but Fall Guy is a Steam game, isn't it? Unless it is on the PlayStation, I don't know. I'm just trying to get my head around your setup. My laptop is wired, but I run my PS5 through OBS, and that's off Wi-Fi. No, I can't get my head around this. I can't get my head around. No, it's not your fault. It's mine. I can't get your head around the way I'm doing it, the way you're doing it. Right. It's on PS2. Oh, that's why. That's why it's on PS2. Right. So there's certain rules in place with with selling. All right. And one of the things with selling is you've never got to use. You don't use negatives. Now, one of the things that is drummed into you very early on, and they might still do it in retail now, is you never go up to a customer and say, "Can I help you?" The reason you don't do that is because that invites a negative straight away. Can I help you? No. That's closed the conversation down straight away. All right? Unless the customer actually wants help. And if they do, they won't wait for you to come to them. They'll come to you. So you go up to somebody and say, "Can I help you?" And they'll say, "No, I'm just looking." Right? I once went up to a blind man and I said, he was in a fridge freezer, right? He was feeling around. I said to him, "Can I help you?" He said, "No, I'm just looking." I looked at him and said, "You take the piss." It's just, you can't do that nowadays, though. All right, hang on. You can use a thing called a capture card and link it up from a console to a PC or a laptop with HDMI. Yeah, the capture card might do it. Yeah. To be honest, if I was going to stream a game, I would tend to not stream it on a PlayStation 5. But that's just me. Right, let's drink some of my tea. So, I always used to approach the customer a different way. I used to approach the customer saying, but a simple saying, right? I'm saying, "You all right there?" They can't reply with a negative. You've screwed them, right? You've nailed them down to the floor. They can't reply with a negative, because if they reply with a negative, you've got them. Because, "Are you all right there?" "No." "Oh, what's wrong?" You see, they can't say no, because if they do, like when you say, "Can I help you?" and they say no, that's closed the conversation down. But if they do it when you say, "Are you all right there?" and they say no, then they're actually inviting you to go into further discussion. So yes is the answer. But then they suddenly realise that they've said something positive, and you've got them, and they say, "You're right there." "Yes." "Oh, good. I'm glad. What was it you were looking for?" "Well, I'm not looking for anything." "Well, you just said you're all right." So can that be applied to streaming? In some ways, yes, it can. Because that's what happens with these follow for follow people, because they're actually doing exactly that. They are inviting negativity. Follow me and I'll follow you. It doesn't work, does it? Do you really want followers for the sake of being followers? The answer is no, you don't. So I started looking, I started thinking to myself, there's got to be a reason. You've got to, if you want people to follow you, if you want people to visit your stream, you've got to do something to make them come and visit. So you've got to be a bit wordy. So that's what I've been doing for the last week or so. If you look at what I've been posting in the groups, I've actually been telling people a little bit about myself, a little bit of background, and telling people what I'm going to be chatting about. And again, I'm going to give it another week and see what happens at the end of this week. If that hasn't worked, if that hasn't upped my average number of viewers, then I'm probably going to buy a hamster cage, maybe a budgie cage, maybe that'll do it. But you do it like that, and then the next thing, once you made that initial contact with the customer, right? The first thing you've got to do is then you've got to ask questions and establish needs, right? You've got to ask the customer what it is that they were after. I find there's a whole etiquette to streaming that you pick up as you go. To be honest with you, Mark, and I assume it's Mark, right? I find that the streamers, they've got some funny ideas of words, right? There's two words that I don't think they understand. Network, right? Network is what you and I are doing. Network is what Higgins and you two were doing, right? Between the three of us, Higgins, Mark, me, we're networking, right? There's actually interaction going between us, all right? That's networking. They seem to think networking is just following. And then there's supporting, right? Supporting is the other one, right? Again, they seem to equate supporting with following. They think that the only way to support people is to follow them. Well, you don't follow them. You do what you've got to do. What we do, we network. That's what you've got to talk. You got to talk about. You got to talk about any old shit. I mean, I'm going to be talking for an hour. Some right old shit. I'm 61 years old. My God, I can talk some shit. But yeah, as you say, so what you got to do is you've got to ask questions to establish needs, which I'm trying to do, and I've been saying to people, what is it you're looking for in a stream? And they say, well, I don't want to watch games, I'd like to chat. Okay, what do you want to chat about? Well, I don't know. Okay. And you think, you want to chat, but you want to chat and you want to interact, but you don't know what you want to chat about. So I say to people, I'm learning about this, is that people don't want to initiate the chat, all right? They don't want... When I'm here looking at you guys are sitting there looking at me, right? You, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, you guys don't want to initiate the chat, okay? You don't want to give me a subject to talk about. What you want is you want me to initiate the chat with you. You want me to interact with you. That's what they want. And when you think about it, I think you'll agree that I'm right. That is exactly what people want. So I've got to find a way that I've got to look at what people are doing, what they're talking about, and finding a way of interacting with them, which is part of the reason why I was on your stream last night, Mark. Because I look round and I look at people that have only got 2 or 3 people on their stream. I pop in and I just sit there for a little while. I don't say anything. I don't do anything, and I just see what the person's like. And a lot of them, I mean, there was one that was a woman there that she spent 10 minutes adjusting her cleavage so that everybody could get a better view. And there's other people that just sit there. There was one that was on the phone the whole time, And out of all the people that I visited last night, and I must have visited about 30, you were the only one that was interacting with your audience, and you were driving the conversation. The audience wasn't driving you. You were driving the conversation until I put my big foot in it and told you had a problem. Dickhead. But if I hadn't said that, you would have been the one driving the conversation. And I've discovered that's what people want. They want the person in the hot seat to drive the conversation. They don't want to do the work. And which brings you on to the next subject. Another thing that these streamers in the forums want is they want this magic pill. All right, they want this instant click your fingers and I'm a mega streamer. They think that you can just become this fantastic streamer without doing any work at all. All you got to do is just post in a forum, follow me a couple of times, right? That's all they think they need to do, and that's all they think that streamers, the big money streamers, right? Somebody once told me, it's a famous person, right? They said to me, it took me 20 years to be an overnight success. And you think about that, you think, well, hang on, an overnight success means instantly, doesn't it? And no, it doesn't. He said, it's actually Bob Monkhouse, if you remember him. He actually said it took him 20 years to be an overnight success. And that's the same with streamers, right? It's hard work, it's grind and it's graft. And there is no magic answer. So you don't, it requires work. And in my case, it's going to require a lot of work because I've got the disadvantages is that I don't really play games. But if you've ever watched my game, right, it's I love it. I think it's a simple game. Right. I've got 3 people here. There's Mental UK. I've got to tell you, right, the microphone I'm using is a Trust microphone. It's a cheap microphone. It only costs 19 quid on Amazon. And Mental UK, we had a chat the other morning. Again, you see, it was two people interacting. We had a chat the other morning, and they recommended this particular microphone to me, so I got it on Amazon, and I'm very pleased with it. And it's a good little microphone. So if you're still there, Mental UK, I didn't get your name. I don't know, and thank you. And so when I say you've got to ask questions, establish needs, that's what I'm talking about, right? You've got to work your audience. You can't just sit there and make them do the work for you. You've got to work them. For instance, Higgins, are you still there? I know what Mark does, and I know what Mental UK does, but I don't know what you do, Higgins. Or if you told me, I've forgotten. So, just let me know. What is it you? What is your thing? What is it you do? Also, Mark, when you say just up the road from you, I mean, where is just up the road from you? That's something else. Oh, look, I've dropped a viewer. Right, yeah, Higgins. I forget how we even bumped into each other, and I just wondered what your thing is. What do you get out of streaming? What do you get out of watching me? I mean, obviously, I can understand you're attracted to my good looks and stunning personality. I mean, who wouldn't be? Yeah, Lewisham. Yeah, you're not far around the corner from me at all, Mark. You're not far. What do you do, Higgins? What's your thing with streaming? Is it because there's fuck all on TV or what? So. But funny enough, Mark. While I'm waiting for Higgins to reply on that, funny enough, Mark, I was talking to somebody yesterday about Lewisham. Now, Lewisham from here, I can tell you now that it's 8 miles from my house to Lewisham railway station. But I was talking about Lewisham yesterday to somebody because it's the 10-year anniversary of the riots that started in Broadwater Farm, and they spread throughout London, and they actually got out as far as Lewisham. And where I am in Chislehurst, we were a bit worried that they would get out as far as here. But Chislehurst is a bit is a bit posh. I mean, they call it Millionaires Road. Mark will tell you. Chislehurst calls it a Millionaires Road, right? So what happened with the rioting was he got as far as Chislehurst, right? And they broke into a couple of charity shops, but being a bit posh, right? The rioters put things on the shelves. They didn't take them off, so that's it. Oh my God, I love you. Well, that's a coincidence, Boopster. Thank you. I love me too. Yep, no, that's great. That's a coincidence. Thank you. There we go. See, oh, it's nice to know that there's two people in this world that love me. You're my favourite streamer. Oh, okay. You're my favourite viewer. So yeah. So I was talking about that Mark. I was talking about that, Mark, the other day, that it was just the 10th anniversary of those riots, and it's I don't know. I mean, I strongly suspect you were probably an embryo when they happened, but like I said, I'm really old, so I do remember them. But that's what we're talking about. Let's just see what Higgins said. I decided to have a look at your Twitch. I really enjoy listening to you. Okay, I streamed some games myself in lockdown, but I don't do that much now. Yeah, no, a lot of people did in lockdown. I mean, I think that is what made some things in streaming quite big. I stream my game, but I'm not going to be streaming it much because it drags my average number of viewers down. So, Boopster, I don't know anything about you. You're new. Oh, hang on. Who's 3 Amy J? Okay. All right. I seem to have a collection of people on YouTube now. So I assume you all see each other. So come on, guys, just tell me about yourselves. Stop his mine. Okay, they're fighting over me. Well, I've got to admit, girls, I've got to admit, it's not been. I've often had women fighting over me. I did a joke of the day on TikTok today. Who wants to see it? Who wants to see it? Can I quickly pull it up? No, I can't. I don't think. Yes, I can. Yeah, I can. I decided that I'm going to do my joke of the day. I decided I'm going to do them weekdays. I'm not going to do any at the weekends. So let's do my joke of the day that I did on TikTok today. This is it. Let's hope it works. So here we go. Restart that, and there we go. Two guys talking in a bar, and the first guy says, "It's my wedding anniversary tomorrow, and I've got no idea what I'm going to get my wife for a present." Second guy says, "I've got an idea. Why don't you go to one of those online card places and get her a card printed up that says something like, 'This card allows you to have any sex you want for 2 hours.'" And the guy said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that." So the card arrives and he gives it to his wife. And then he goes out that night and he meets up with his mate again, and he's bawling his eyes out. And his mate says, "What's the problem? What's the problem? I thought it was your wedding anniversary. You're supposed to be really happy." He said, "Well, yeah. I gave the card to my wife." And his mate said, "What did she do?" And he said, "Well, she ran up to me, kissed me all over, put her shoes on, ran out the door and said, 'I'll see you in 2 hours.'" Right, there we go. That was my joke of the day. I'll just call that back up there, and I'll stop it. I'll pause it. There you go. Look at the difference. Hey, that's the difference makeup makes. All right. I'm wearing makeup, right? And I don't care. I'll be honest. I'm wearing makeup, right? I'm not wearing makeup on that one, but I'm wearing makeup on this one. Not a lot of makeup. Don't be stupid. I'm not that effeminate. But one of the problems that with strong lights, I've got a key light up there. One of the problems with strong lights is, especially when you're turning into a slaphead like me, and you can see it on this one where I've not got any makeup, is you get a lot of shine coming off your forehead, and a lot of shine coming off your nose. So I've got a little bit of translucent matte powder on to stop the shine, because otherwise it gets a bit distracting. So, but that's the difference between makeup and not makeup. And the other thing is, of course, I've had a shave. Right, let's kill that. I don't know if that was funny or not. But that was my joke of the day. That's what went out on on TikTok today, and I've decided that I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that every weekday, but not weekends. I want some time to myself. Right. Anyway, yeah. So that's this is as far as I've got with my research, that people want to interact with a streamer, but they want the streamer to drive the conversation, which is what I've been trying to do. I mean, it's like I say, I don't know what's happened to Mental UK. I think he's just disappeared. But Higgins there is I remember now. Yes, he found me on TikTok and decided to come along, but he does do streaming. Mad Mark, and I assume his name's Mark, I met last night for the first time. I just came onto his stream and thought, you know, this guy is actually talking. He's talking to his audience. He's not talking on the phone, and he's not doing it. I'll have to next time I drop in on you, you have to let me know some of your jokes. All right? Okay. That was a bit of a shit joke. I mean, I do know better jokes, but you've got to be so careful now, because especially with things like Facebook, and this does go out on Facebook. They're so hot on what you can and can't say. It's unbelievable. So you got to be really careful. So I know nothing about Boopster or 3Ami J. It's they just appeared on YouTube, and I think they've disappeared now. So oh well, that's the way it goes. So yeah, Mark, that's one thing I was doing. I'm trying to use TikTok and Instagram TV as well. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to get away from. I've always liked thinking out of the box. I always like trying to do things my way and trying to do things differently, and I really don't feel that going into forums all over the place and saying follow me, woo, it's the right way of doing it. And I mean, I've got to be honest and say that I don't actually follow anybody. Oh, you moved to Twitch? Okay, Boopster. All right, thank you very much. I'd never leave you, Steve. Okay. Um, and well, you want to hi hi. Oh, you people don't put vowels in your name. It makes it difficult without vowels in your names. Hi, Thrift. I'm just going to call you Thrift. It's so much easier. I'm just going to call you Thrift. So, hello, mate. Okay, I'm glad you'd never leave me, Bootster. It's good. I feel the same way about I feel the same way about gonorrhea. That never leaves me either. Right. So yeah. The fucking hell. Fuckity fuck. I hate this. I've made no notes tonight. I've completely and totally lost the track. Talking about people. So yeah, it strikes me that some people are just absolutely clueless, and they think that just sticking follow me into a Facebook group is going to make them into a streamer. And they obviously see it as a way of making money, and they think it's going to be instant money, become an instant streamer, but it's not. I strongly suspect that the people that make money do really work really hard at it, and they spent a lot of time doing it. Unless you've got a cleavage, and like I said, I mean, no disrespect at all, no disrespect to these women that sit in hot tubs semi-naked. I mean, if you've got it, flaunt it. I mean, honestly, if I could, if I was a woman, I would be doing something like that, and that's 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 just the way it is. And I don't begrudge them in any way, and I don't understand why people are so rude to these girls when they go into the forums, because, like I said, you're not stealing their viewers. They're not stealing your audience. Those people, they just want to see somebody's cleavage. They don't want to listen to you. They don't want to watch you. They don't want to play games. They want to watch cleavage. All right. So unless you've got cleavage, you're never going to be one of their favourite people. So don't be disingenuous to them. And it's identifying that once you've identified who you're targeting to, and I'm still struggling on that one. I'm like I've said with Mark and Higgins, that I'm trying TikTok as an advertising medium to see if that will work, and I'm trying to apply some of these techniques that I've spoken tonight about with selling, because asking questions and establishing needs, right? If you're selling a washing machine, you would ask questions and you would establish needs. Like somebody would say, "Well, I'm looking for a washing machine," and you've got to sort of draw it out of them what type of washing machine it is they're looking for. Okay, well, how many people are you washing for? Well, just two of us. So do you need a big? You don't need a big capacity washing machine. Then you just need a standard washing machine. Yeah. What sort of clothes you washing? Oh, okay. You don't need a high-speed spin one. You definitely don't need a washer dryer if you've got a garden and you're out on the line. So it's asking questions and establishing things, which is why I like talking to you guys. I'm finding out what you're all about. I mean, Boopster, I don't even know if you're male or female, and not that it worries. I mean, not that I'm bothered. I don't know anything about you, and I like to know what it is, why it is that people follow me. I want to know. I mean, like I said, obviously my stunning good looks a part of it, but I'd love to know why it is that people follow me. Same for you, Hide and Drift. It's the nearest I can come to it. I mean, thanks for following me. I can see that you followed me. I will return the favour. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will return the favour. I'll quite happily do that, and I will drop into your stream as Mark will tell you that I drop in and I do chat to streamers. Apart from that one last night, I did laugh, and I can tell you now, right, that I still haven't reached the number of people viewing me. I can't believe that an empty hamster cage has more views than me. It really does. An empty hamster cage. You just and if I don't make a go of this, I will buy. I've decided it's going to be a parrot cage, and I'll focus on the parrot cage. Illness forced me to retire. I was an Uber driver. Yeah, I know, crazy. I was an Uber driver, which is why I like chatting so much. For your looks, you came in my recommended. Yeah, okay. It's yeah, for my looks, obviously, for my looks. Thank you. Thank you. I love you so much. I love me too, as you can probably tell. You know, I mean, I remember with my partner, the first night I met her, and she said, "Do you want to come back to my house?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll come back to your house." And she said, "Well, what do you want to do now?" And I said, "Well, can I go up to your bedroom?" And she said, "Well, yeah, we'll go up there." I said, "No, I want to go up there just by myself." And she said, "What do you want to go up there for?" And I said, "Well, I want to make love." Yeah, there we go. um, so I've lost it again. I've lost the plot again. I've lost the plot again. I have seriously lost the plot again. I love everybody. I do. That's my problem. I love everybody. So TikTok is one way, and as far as I can tell, at least one person, which is Higgins, found me via TikTok and came in to see what I'm streaming. Mark didn't find me. I found him. I popped into his stream. Mental, who, if they're still there, they found me and gave me a bit of technical advice and helped me out a bit, which was great. So I love you too, mate. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is great. This is lots of people loving me. Lots of people giving me love. I'm feeling quite honoured here now. I spent around 4 years working for taxi companies, just office based. Yeah. Don't. Right. I was an Uber driver. I used to work for a company in Chislehurst, by Chislehurst railway station. But I used to work as an Uber driver. My God, I could tell you some things about Uber drivers. There's a story in the papers today about a couple that have got guide dogs, and the law is you can't refuse a guide dog service in a restaurant, a hotel, a cab, public transport. Apparently, they went to two restaurants in Leicester Square, and they were refused service because of the dogs. Well, the same thing happens with Uber drivers, right? An awful lot of Uber drivers will not take dogs. Which is fine. You don't have to take dogs, but service dogs, you have to by law, and it's £1,000 fine and a criminal record if you refuse. You have to take service dogs if you're a taxi. This is a legal requirement. And the number of Uber drivers that would say, "Well, I'm allergic to dogs." Well, really? Where's your medical exemption? Well, I haven't got one. Well, then you're not allergic to dogs, then, are you? Or they'd say, I can't stand dogs. And I'd say, "Well, what country do you come from?" And they tell me, I'd say, "Well, hang on a minute. In your country, weren't dogs used by your guys for thousands of years for hunting and for use in war? So you can't say it's not like anything else." And a lot of people say, "Well, I don't like dogs, they might lick me." Mate, I was an Uber driver on a Friday and a Saturday night. There is absolutely more danger of being licked by a passenger than there is by a dog. I can promise you that. And I'm not kidding, right? I am not kidding. I was going down the Sidcup bypass one time, and I picked this guy up in a pub in Mark will know exactly what I'm talking about. I picked this guy up in a pub called the Bickley Arms, and he was off his head. I don't know if he was off his head on drugs or drink or anything, and he wanted to go home, and he wanted to go up to here, the Green. I took him, and we're going down the Sidcup bypass. I'm driving along at 40 miles an hour, right? He suddenly puts his hand on my leg and pulls over to me and then tries to kiss me in the ear hole. And I'm not doing 40 miles an hour down the road, batting this bloke off, thinking I'm not gay, and it just so yeah, there is more chance of being licked by a passenger than there is by a dog. And I can promise you, right? Dogs are better behaved than a lot of passengers that I've taken. A lot of passengers are just, yeah. Yeah, taxi drivers and Uber drivers. If Mark's worked around taxi offices, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Oh. Right. So, well, I thought for a minute I was gonna get to the dizzy heights of beating the empty hamster cage, but I don't think I am. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm starting to ask a lot of questions, and I'm starting to ask people what it is they're looking for. What do they want out of a streamer? And that's one of the things that I've discovered, that people actually want to be worked. You've got to work your audience. And to work your audience, you've got to have an audience to start with, which uh, I'll get there. I'll get there or not. I mean, like I said, I'm medically retired. I'm not working now. I've got a lung condition, which is really affecting me tonight. I've got a lung condition, which means that I'm pretty much home based, and I can't do anything which involves any sort of exertion. I mean, when I was at school, I did have an ambition when I was at school. I wanted to be a pubic hair stylist, which would have worked in the 1980s, of course, but not nowadays because nobody ever has any. But I can't do anything that involves any sort of exertion. So I looked around at what I could do, and I mean, I can edit. I mean, all these things that you see on all these little things that you see on my stream, this overlay, streams up the top here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This overlay I did myself. This background I did myself. All of the little things that I do myself. All the little there's loads of things that I do. I haven't give you an example. The YouTube subscribers one. Let's just run that. There we go. That I did myself. It's these things I do myself. Very easily done in After Effects. That. What's this one? This is a URL. I know it's the same one. Sorry. Twit. That's better. Right. Let's do this one. URL. No, that's come up on the wrong screen. But little things like this, I do myself. Anything like that. But there's no real demand for it because the market has been so depressed. Things like logos, banners, overlays, any lower thirds, animations, alpha matte transitions. I can do anything like that. I can't really. You have to stand up. No, I can see that you've got another one out there, but I'm not watching this. Redcoat is the odd one out. I mean, I don't know. These are remotes. I haven't even looked at emotes yet. It's something that I'm going to be getting into. So I don't know which is the odd one out. I'm sure you guys will tell me. I'm sure you guys will tell me. My throat is really going now. So yeah, so I thought to myself, well, I'll do a bit of video editing, do a bit of freelance overlay, banner, logo making. But again, I've looked around and my God, the guys have just talk about race to the bottom. I mean, it just the people out there designing you a logo for a fiver. All right. Well, no, they don't actually because they think that we're really stupid. All right, and they tell you how they've got all these wonderful graphic abilities, but they're not. They're using Canva, they're using Placeit, and they're using templates. They don't actually use. I am using a Galaxy S9. My camera is Galaxy S9 mobile phone. Mark, it's Galaxy S9 mobile phone rather than a camera. In fact, all my cameras are mobile phones. I've got another one over here. Let me just fire that up for you. I'll call it my side cam. Let me just put it on. There we go. There's my other cam, which is a mobile phone as well. Let's move that. Let's get in the way a bit. Let's move that across. There we go. That's a mobile phone as well. That's a Galaxy S9. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and show you my setup with that phone. So let me just pull it off of its manual. So now, can you see that? You can actually see my Galaxy S9 there. That's my Galaxy S9. when I'm streaming my game, I use that camera, which is a Logitech C922. But the camera I'm using right now is the Galaxy S9, and as you can probably see, this is another Galaxy S9. They're both old contract phones. My new phone is a Galaxy S21, which I'm not using, even though it has got a 100 megapixel camera. I'm not using the bloody thing for streaming, that's for sure. Oh, that can wait till it's out of contract. Right, that's that. So that's the camera I'm using. I've got other effects going on that you can probably tell that I've got a green screen going behind me. And if I kill the green screen on my side cam, you'll see what I'm actually sitting in. I've turned I'm in my den. This is my spare room. I'm in my den, and I've turned it into a studio. So if I go to my side cam for a minute and I turn, that's the one. If I turn chroma key off, there you go. As you can see, I'm sitting in my studio's green. I've got a green screen behind me, but my walls are green as well. Everything here is green, so I can do all of these back projections. You probably didn't need to know that. Let's turn that back on again. There we go. Zoom that up. Right, that's it. That's better. There we go. Right. So those are my cameras. The Galaxy S9 and the other Galaxy S9. But I've just noticed I've got a problem that this one is lagging. This one's lagging quite badly, but this one isn't. So the audio and sync is out on that. So I'll have to look at that. Anyway, let me kill that one. So that's that's the camera I'm using. If that answers your question, it's a Galaxy S9. But I've also got a very powerful key light up here. A very powerful key light to light me. When you're using a green screen background like I am, the key light you need to light the background evenly. Otherwise, let me turn it off. Let me turn this one off. The background behind me needs to be lit evenly. Otherwise, you have a lot of problems. So that's what the background looks like when it's not on. If that wasn't lit evenly, the chroma key effect wouldn't work. So let's put that back. Right. Okay. Well, I'm coming at the end of my 8:30 stint. So I hope I've covered some of the things that I'm doing, some of the questions that I've asked. Let me just kill that. Let's just take that side cam off. Oh. Let's see if I turn that off. By the way, Mark, the side cam is connected to my router via an RJ45 connection, but this camera here is connected via 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. The reason I've got it connected via 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi is that if I connect it via the router, it lags. So it lags. The 920 is the next one down from the 922. They're not bad cameras, but to be honest, I see a lot of streamers always doing this, asking what is the best camera to get. And the answer is the best camera is probably the one you've got in your hand. It's probably your mobile phone. I mean, this is a Galaxy S9. I think it's a 50 megapixel. I'm only using the front. I'm not using the back camera. I'm using the front camera, which I think is only about 30 megapixels. No, it's 12 megapixels. It's 12 megapixels. So I'm only using the front camera. And you probably find your mobile phone, and everybody's got a mobile phone. I bet you, what mobile phone you got, Mark? What mobile you got? Oh, my throat. Just wait for Mark to tell me what mobile he's got. If you come back and say an Apple, I'm going to lose all respect for you. No, I'm joking. I'll just ask you to put it in the bin. Galaxy S10. You've got an even better phone than me, and you're wondering about that. Use your S10. You want to use your S10. All right. There's a program. Right. Go onto the Galaxy App Store, and there's something you can get called DroidCam. Let me post a link for you. I'm just going on my YouTube. Let me just. I did this as a quick and dirty one. It's not. it's nothing to write home about. I might redo it again as a much better one when I get time. There we go. Let's find the share link. There we go. Copy. Right. Okay. I'm not sure how this is going to work. So, click that. There we go. That should work. That will that gives you, that'll take you onto my YouTube, and that will give you a little that'll give you a little thing to show you how to use your mobile phone as a webcam. There's two versions of DroidCam. Well, you put DroidCam on your phone, and then you put it on. There's a desktop client that runs, but it's only in standard definition. If you want the high definition DroidCam, you do have to pay for it, but I think it only costs about £8. I've got the high definition one. Word of warning though, it's a bit laggy. Well, it is for me. I found it a bit laggy on a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, but I'm lucky I've got a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi as well, which is how it's connected. And on 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, it's as smooth as a cashmere codpiece. You can also, if you've only got 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and you haven't got a 5 gigahertz one, you can connect it via USB as well. But you need to put your phone into developer mode to do that. But that's dead easy. You just go into About on your phone and tap it 7 or 8 times, and it puts it in developer mode. But that's the other way of doing it. But yeah, so you saying you want a better phone? You've already got a better phone. I mean, the Galaxy S10, that's the dog's bollocks of a phone. I mean, it's better than my S9. And you can see the picture quality of what my S9's like, so you can imagine what your S10's like. So yeah, that's so don't look round don't go and spend fortunes on buying the latest Dojima flip camera. You don't need to. You've already got one of the best streaming cameras. And it's dead simple. Follow those instructions, and it'll set you up. Right now, I've done my hour now. So as much as I would love to stay and chat, I'm starting to get a bit out of breath. But that's down to my bronchiectasis. Plus, I've got to take my other half to work anyway. So I am going to call it a night. Yeah. Well, I'm on hiding. Thank you very much. I'm on. You can see up there. Look, 19:30 Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Yeah, that's when I'll be about. But if there's anything you ever want to talk about, anything you want to chat about, just let me know and we'll see what we can do. But Mark, yeah, look into it. Right, follow that link and it shows you how to set a mobile phone up to use it as a webcam. But and of course, you've got the beauty of it is, unlike the Galaxy 922, and for you, Higgins, enjoy the rest of your night as well. The beautiful thing about it, Mark, is that you've got full control over your zoom and your exposure as well. You can control your zoom from the app. So, to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I'm nowhere near the camera, but I can zoom in. There you go. And I can zoom out from the app. So that's actually the DroidCam app controlling my camera. Plus, of course, being a Galaxy S10, it's very good in low light. So you actually don't need. I mean, I've got a very powerful key light up there, but you won't need a very powerful key light. In fact, if I turn it off, it should still work quite nicely. Let's turn my key light off. There we go. You can see when I turn my key light off, my background is a bit, because it's not being lit evenly. I could actually deal with that with software. I can actually change that out with software, but no, I prefer to use lighting. But as you can see, and my room is literally, I've got one little tiny light on up here, and that's what's lighting my room. And the camera is picking that up. The lighting on that is so good. But like I said, I've got a very powerful key light, just to illuminate the back there, stop that from happening. That's technical shit. Like I said, that's where I excel. Video editing, doing things like that is what my talent is. But I'm going to have to settle for streaming instead. Anyway, thank you all for being there. All of you on YouTube, all of you on Twitch. Higgins, Mental Health, Mark, Boopster, Hide and Thrift, anybody else. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully I can. We'll see you on Wednesday night. And look forward to it, and we'll find something else to chat about. But for now, I must go because my throat is killing me, and I am seriously dying for a piss. So, bye.